The Huskers hired a new play caller for the O. The results, a big 0, actually 13 points, which wasn't enough even with the help of the D. We break that down and revisit Nebraska's chances ending the bowl drought. The good news is we look forward to recruiting talk with Sean Callahan. What's up with that? We'll tell you. It's all coming up next on Big Red Wrap-Up. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Severe. Welcome to Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media, joined by former Huskers Jay Moore and Damon Benning. Initial thoughts, another chance for Nebraska to get bowl eligible. They fall short. What'd you think of the new offense?
Well, I mean, I think being in LA, I've seen this movie before, right?
Yes, you have.
Unfortunately, I tell you what, with the new offense, notice a few little wrinkles. I thought they did a good job of getting the ball quicker out of Dylan's hands, utilizing some shorter to intermediate games, some plays, tight end delay situations. Obviously, getting the Emmett Johnson touchdown was loved that play.
Yep.
That utilization. I know he wasn't first option there, but just having that ability to hit that as a check down, we haven't seen that as of late. But again, it just was. This football team hasn't been opportunistic as of late, and guys, when plays need to get made, they're not getting made, and that's not coaching. I think sometimes guys just got to start showing up and making plays to get over this hump, to get them to this 6th win and get to a bowl game. But nothing like the present to get that corrected, and it can change in a hurry, I think.
Seconds per play did increase. They were averaging about 29. They went 26 for that game. Did you feel they were going a little bit faster?
Yeah, I could tell I like the rhythm, and you can see what they want to do, right? And it kind of held true to form. I felt like in the amount of time that Coach Holgorsen had with the staff, you weren't going to see a ton of new things, but you may see different people within the same stuff, and that's exactly what they did. So I'm encouraged. I think it's trending in the right direction. I like the tempo and the rhythm. Rhythm to me is more about, okay, they're establishing something, they're going to stay with it.
Yeah.
The tempo is how quick in which they execute that. And I kind of like both, especially as the game wore on in the middle portion. I felt like some things started to click with the run game. I liked kind of the development of what they want to do. I felt like the line up front was pretty good.
Yep.
In terms of running the football. And so that I'm definitely encouraged by.
You got to let the rhythm hit them. That's the goal. We're going to check now to find out exactly what you think. There's a lot to cover tonight, and we can't do it without you. We have our phones standing by, and we're ready for your calls. Prefer it, text or email us. Send your comments or questions to bigred@nebraskapublicmedia.org. We're also monitoring our social media accounts tonight as well. Send us your thoughts on our Big Red Wrap-Up Facebook page or X account, and we'll answer as many of your questions as we can. Time for the Sideline Survey. We look back at what we asked you last week. What is your grade of the hiring of Dana Holgorsen as the offensive coordinator, A through F? 41% of the people said F. 25% said A, 24% said B, and 9% said C. You people are haters. This week's question, would you rather get a win against the last 2 games? Wisconsin, Iowa, or the one I voted for? I don't care. Let's just get eligible for a bowl game. That's the one that makes most sense to me.
That's exhausting.
F?
It's like 41%?
Look, we're going to get to the rest of this stuff, but there's something that Coach Rule talks a lot about, and I don't think coaches understand it till they get here, but all the noise around the program, that's something you really have to avoid.
Yeah, it's
you guys have lived it, I know, but.
I didn't like it then. I like it even less now.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
but I think
I'm just being honest.
But it's funny, and nowadays it's so much easier to hear the noise because there's so many different avenues.
It's following you around.
I mean, DB, you're older than me. Wait, no,
barely. I mean, what's 15 years?
Right, but just had to make the viewers aware, right?
Right. Yeah.
Morning.
You got to pick up a paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But same with us. Social media was just kind of coming around.
Sure.
Talk show radio was just kind of getting going again. Now, I mean, everyone has a voice and everyone has opinions, and you can find them just as easily. It takes a lot of power and just to shut it all off,
Yeah.
not pay attention. But it's really hard this day, and it's different, man. Everywhere is different, and this place is definitely different in a good way, though. I think it's a good thing that people care. People care about this program, want to see success, but also all these people get frustrated as well and get apathetic. But I don't think we're there quite yet.
Well, that's what Denon said. He wanted to go to a place where people care, and they do care at a really high level. But how difficult is what Dana Holgorsen did coming in? Like Coach Rule said, he learned a new language, right? Talking about writing in Italian. How difficult was he that he did in like 10, 11 days?
I'm very familiar with Spanish, so I don't know how difficult that would have been. But
This was Italian, he was saying, though. I don't know Italian.
They're similar. That's
Okay, yeah, they're Romantic languages.
Thank
Yep.
you. Listen, it's hard because you spend. I just try to weight it to like learning names in a classroom.
Sure.
And understanding my curriculum, right? You first get started in teaching, you're in the classroom. The language barrier is incredible. And so when you want to go fast and you want to do things, like just command of the language is number one. Then you have to see, okay, well, what do they do? All right, well, who does what and what are their names? I think it's incredibly difficult. I was glad he re-explained the story of the timeline because I got a chance to put it against what I saw. I said for the first handful of days, he didn't say a word. He was watching
tape.
and
Yeah.
listening. And,
Yeah.
and he affirmed that today. I'm like, yeah, it's much more difficult than people think.
So they've had 36 opportunities. You've probably seen the number out there to score when tied or trailing on the last drive. They've only scored 3 times, only won 1 game. How do you get over this hump on these last drives?
It's tough. I've been a part. I mean, I had success, and I'd put games I've been a part of where defensively need to make a play. We were able to make plays offensively. I just always think back to the 06 game at Texas A&M.
Oh,
the
yeah.
last second drive.
Purify.
The fade route to Purify, like that wasn't looking good. I had a horrible feeling about that watching the sideline. But we had guys show up and make plays. Here's a great. I mean, what you have to do, and I know people might not be happy with this answer, but you got to keep putting yourself in these these positions, and then hopefully, the tide will turn, and you get to bounce the ball. You get someone just finally makes a play, Banks, Nao, or Fedoni, whoever, Dylan, whoever it is. Someone just got to. When you get in that situation, someone has to make a play. It's not coaching. Someone has to step up, and whatever play is called, execute it to your best ability. And if you got to go up and get that ball. You got to break a tackle, whatever it is. Step in the pocket and defend off a defensive end. Someone just got to step up and make a play, and they'll get there eventually. But it obviously, very, very frustrating that it's taken. They've had so many opportunities with such few success. Being so unsuccessful.
We've talked about this a lot. A lot of these young kids now, they go through a lot of big games when they're very young, AAU, whatever sport it is, and I think they learn how to win. Mm-hmm. They learn how to get over the hump. Making a play sounds so simple, but in turn, and both you guys have made that play, knocking the ball down one time could make all the difference in a game.
Yeah, it could be something as, and this one got overlooked, but you know what teams would have done with that strip sack from Ty Robinson?
Yeah,
score.
Bear would have scored. He scoop scored on that one. So sometimes when you're just happy to make the play, like the self-awareness can kind of get away from you.
Sure.
Or, you're in cover 3 and you're a deep third guy, right? You're deep third, right? It's elementary.
Right.
Deep is the deepest man in my zone. But it's like, hey, I got to make a play. I got to make the play, right? We've got to get out of this thing where we think that every play we make, to the good or to the bad, is like the ultimate referendum on the game. And it's not. It's a lot easier to make those plays real time when you're just playing free in the moment. And sure, it's like, oh, DB, you can just say those kinds of things. Well, it's not like I haven't been there either, right? So the best way, I'm giving you the answers to the test, is to just stay in the moment. When you fast forward to the situation and you're like, now if this happens, this is what when you do that, you're second to second. That's the easiest way to be perfect.
I remember a game against Millard South you guys were playing a couple years ago, and they got a big score. All the momentum was going their way. Kickoff return by Dom Rizak turned the whole emotion about the whole game.
We had
turned
no
around.
business winning that.
Yeah, no business winning it.
So
It takes
like I've seen it.
one guy
It can
makes a
happen.
play.
And it's so easy. I think as a fan, you looking at this and you put, because you can feel it, right? You can feel the energy change, momentum change. But the last thing you can do as a coach and a player, you don't want to put a certain situation on a pedestal and make it more important than the other ones. I mean, DB said it, it's every play, doesn't matter if it's the first or the 62nd, It's the same concept, the same mindset. It's what you've done Monday through Friday in practice is the same thing you want to do on Saturdays.
Yeah.
You can't separate those things and say it's more important than anything else. No, it's such a simple process, but it's such a hard thing to understand and do it. But again,
do your
you have to
1 of
keep-
11.
Right.
Do your job and keep putting yourself in that situation. Hopefully, you're going to get those opportunities to make those plays finally.
Game management, timeout management, that's a huge part of the game. You know that. The situation where they decide they're going to maybe fake the punt, change their mind, they call timeout, then they go back out there, decide not to go for it, didn't try to get them to jump off. What'd you take out of that?
I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just desensitized. I thought that was much ado about nothing, right? Because I understood. I said this real time on the radio show. I think they wanted a look, right? I think they wanted the fake. They didn't get it. And when you put the offense back on the field like you're thinking you're going to go for it, you talked yourself out of it. I don't really have a ton of problems.
What about trying to get them to jump? Like, that's just something, you go back out there, maybe you're not going to run it because you didn't get the look, but at least try to do the clap or something, go under center, try to get them to jump.
We've seen that.
Yeah,
right?
and USC actually wasn't very disciplined in the
So
game.
I meant, I guess that of all the things that I would pick at that Nebraska could have done differently, that's way down on the list.
4th and 3, 39-yard line. I think if they've been winning games, he goes for that.
Yeah, and that's who he wants to be.
Yeah.
Like I think that when he gets over the hump, and I believe that he will, I think he's going to be a handful because he keeps receipts, and sometimes they come up a little too often, but he will be a guy that will stay on the gas.
My only problem with that situation is you have your punt teams out, you have a fake punt, they come out and punt safe. This is normal defenses out there.
Right.
Why instead of calling timeout, why can't you just have a backup play? Say, let's just punt it. It's in punt safe. Let's just do what we normally have done.
I think
so
you
many
didn't
times
thought
this
they
year.
were going to go for it.
Right, but that's fine. But can't you just say, okay, this is not the look. You can audible just a normal punt. No one's rushing anyways. It's punt safe.
So why I think they didn't, and I'd have to go back. That's a fantastic question. And I thought about that in my head, and I just got lazy to go back and look at the personnel. You don't want to make a mistake with Branch. So
Yeah.
I think
And it was 2 wide receivers wide, by the way.
But they're
Two
still
starting
on
wide
punt safe.
receivers.
I've been on punt safe as a defensive guy.
I understand. I coach it. I get it. I just think.
You're right. They did have starting wide receivers as gunners.
Yeah,
Banks out there.
I think they were a little worried about not having the right
that makes
personnel.
from a personnel standpoint.
Yeah.
Banks,
Because that's a good question.
Yeah,
right?
To me, it seems so
He's-
simple to be like, hey, that's not a
Just
look.
eat
Let's just
it,
punt it,
right? Yeah.
or kick it out of bounds, whatever it is. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
I think you're worried that somehow they're going to return the ball.
Let's talk about what Sierra Wright did, the game he had. Goes home. Obviously, he had all kinds of energy going back there to the place he left. Gets the pick six, gets the block field goal.
You know why I like Sierra Wright? It's not even because it doesn't really have anything to do with the caliber of player he is. It's the fact that he embraces the next moment. It's never too big for him. It's not like, he's always perfect or he's always, sometimes he just kind of goes rogue a little
He
bit.
takes chances, that's what I
But he plays with maximum effort. And I like the fact that, especially in football, I'd like to do this in life more. He solves problems with aggression.
Yeah.
And in football, you get a
It's a
chance.
great outlet for it.
Right?
It's a
In
great
football,
outlet.
you get a chance to do that. That's
Yeah.
my favorite thing about him.
Yeah, he chose to solve it with violence.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. Let's go to the highlights. We're going to check out everything got started, and DB was there, and a lot of people were there. It all got started in the middle of the field as Nebraska did what they normally do, meet at the middle of the field to get ready for the game, and the folks in USC didn't like it, and you had a little scrum before the game. This is the stadium to host 3 Olympics. Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
The irony.
Yes, the piece of the Olympics. Here's Maivea, throws it, picks off by Sierra Wright, brings it back. Good job by Hartzog getting in front of him to help him out a little bit as well, but what a welcome home for him.
Yeah, he'd
Outstanding.
been playing with fire. And this one was one you could kind of see coming. And he got away with so many interception-worthy throws.
6 turnover plays.
Okay, so I guess, hey, I'm not too bad. I
6
guess
of them.
7, 8.
Yeah.
Even on plays they scored, I'm like, that shouldn't work normally. And he got away with it.
Yeah, and we'll see a bunch of those as we go along. But here's Maivea again making another
That's
throw
another
that
one.
probably could have gotten picked there again. Over and over, he made these different throws, and this is the big one right here. This is Tommy Hill's opportunity to make a play. We were talking about it.
You got to make that play. It's simple as that. There's nothing else. You gotta make that play.
I think Tommy Hill's playing two-hand touch here.
And he doubled down.
Yeah.
It's just
There's nowhere for him to go.
inexcusable.
Grant's got the sideline. He can't come inside. You got to hit him there. Woody Marks, I said this last week. I think he's the most complete back. I know there's better backs. Pass protection, catching the ball in the backfield, running inside and outside. He's one of the most complete backs in the Big Ten.
He is dynamic. What they were doing, trying to box count that counter, and he just kept reading it. And he's an incredible inside runner.
Yeah, and patience. Here's a zone read, keeper. Not a great runner. He's a functional runner. He gets yards for you.
He runs like he's on broken glass.
Here's another chance right here for an interception. Hartzog gets up. The replay shows it perfectly. It basically goes right. He jumped a little early. That's what happened. Jumped a little early. Ball goes through his hands. Then it goes off the helmet, off the chest.
Make a play.
Make a play. 14-7.
Put yourself in position. Got to make a play.
USC goes up. Nebraska comes back. They eventually get the run game going. Before that, though, you see a lot of this. Underneath shots. Big shot taken by Barney. He had to leave the field for a while, but came back in. But getting the ball to Luke Lindenmeyer, that's something we haven't seen.
Love that play.
Love
that. Just
Very
check
nice,
release.
a little slip. That's
little late
nice.
release, exactly.
Chip release. Love that.
And then here's a third down play, 3rd and 4. Jamal Banks had a good game. 5 receptions, 55 yards. And then here's a touchdown play.
Yeah, just decisive.
Oh, that's not a touchdown play, I'm sorry.
I mean, similar concept.
Here we
but
go, right here.
It's the same concept, right? He puts his foot in the ground and he gets vertical. You're just on guys in a hurry. You played a ton of good defense, Jay. It's different when offensive guys try to do the dictating.
Yeah.
And Jay's going to break this down. This made it 14-14. The play before that was to Bonner, who we love seeing on the field.
Who also put his foot in the ground and got vertical.
Good stuff happens when Bonner's on the field, in my opinion. Here's Nebraska trying to get it going with the run game. Emmett Johnson just gives you all kind of legs and shoulders and everything there.
That jump cut was filthy.
Oh,
That was
whirling
silly.
dervish.
Now here's the interception. This was just a poor choice, right? Poor decision making. I know you're trying to make a play, but that's just poor decision making. That's the 9th interception. And then this was a situation where I don't know who was off, but the left side of the line didn't go off with the snap.
Well, they told us today.
Yes, they did. They said it was the center.
Clearly the center's fault.
Yeah, he said it.
And even he would tell you that. I was like,
Ogerson doesn't pull a
wow.
lot of punches when he's talking at all. Here we go again. Jamal Banks, another good play. I'm glad to see him get involved. The ex-receiver in this system usually catches a ton of the ball, so I wasn't surprised by that. And then more Emmett Johnson making plays.
Yeah, I don't love the spin
move.
I'm just being nitpicky, but man, is he elusive.
Yeah, here's the chance to make another play. Slides, gets in a position, so it's 3rd and 9. They run a great play to the far side of the field. This is a nice back shoulder throw. It's interference, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's holding. You got pulled to the ground.
It's just interference there. And he almost caught the ball. Field goal, John Holt making 4 in a row now. He's kind of on fire with the way he's kicking the ball, doing a great job there. Gives Nebraska the lead, but back comes USC quickly. Back shoulder throw, not surprising. And then this throw here, DB.
Yeah, inexcusable. It's a little over route against cover 2. You backside safety, you got to get over the top. You know, you're playing hash to hash. It just can't happen.
21-17, Dowdell with a nice run there. Jumps over a defender. This one, the running game kind of gets going. Banks again, another one of his 5 catches on the day. Nebraska gives the ball back. This is a great play by getting his hand in where it needed to be to knock the ball away. But as you mentioned, it's been nice if Bayer could have picked it up and taken it to the house.
Jay Moore would have scored.
Oh, most definitely.
Now, would you go back to your tight end?
And it's
days?
the quarterback that gets him.
Running back days.
It's the quarterback that gets him there. Because you can't put in the hand of an offense that struggles in the red zone. And again, in the red zone, another struggle. You had Banks off to the left. He didn't see him. Didn't
It's a
get
great
it to him.
design, too.
It is.
They faked the little Skittles or
Yeah.
tunnel screen. And
They had the corner completely confused over there, but he doesn't see it. Nebraska down 21-20. Another great field goal by John Hall. 5 in a row on the season. Here's Woody Marks making plays.
how about that crease he slipped through?
Looked like there was nothing there. He was about the back
You
end,
think
but
you fit that correctly as a defense. And
Did great against Zachariah Branch all the way up until that play, really. And he always gets you on. He'll get you on with his quickness. I'm not sure what that spin move was right there, but John Bullock almost gets a pick. Another chance to make a play.
well, you reminded me of Russell Wilson.
That was kind of weird, yeah. Block field goal, another big play by Sierra Wright, knocking that ball down. Great job by him.
How
Great
about the
effort.
effort? Super
Laid
short
out
corner,
completely.
Just bendy.
Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic
Nebraska gets the
effort.
ball back. Here's a great play to start this drive. 13-yard gain by Heinrich Harburg.
I'd like to see them do it a couple of times in a row till they get lined up, because it's hard when you don't prepare for QB run game.
And here's when they went out for the punt, then they came out to go for it, decided to punt again after burning the timeout there. Give the ball back to USC, and USA mounts a drive right here. This was an impressive drive.
Yeah, it's really hard when you want to box those, and I keep saying box, and I apologize for not getting in on the dry erase board, but there's got to be a different way to play that if you're going to box for second and third level defenders, right?
You're going to do the short shot option. Here's the quarterback keeper.
Great call.
Going from 2 yards up, 28-20.
Yes.
Time for Nebraska to make a rally, to come back, to try to get back in this game. He had another play to Heinrich Haarberg early in the drive, too, that got him moving a little bit. This is a nice throw across the middle of the banks. And then a nice run to get the first down. It was a perfect decision there. Now, I might have called a timeout there instead of burning another 12 seconds, but you try to go downfield. Nice catch. Forketcher gets out of bounds here. There's a shot play coming up here that he misses down the seam.
Oh, Barney down the hash.
Barney down the hash, yeah. But this comes back. The next time goes to him. Ball's knocked out. Has a chance to have a catch there.
Yeah.
This is a great catch by your boy by Lloyd.
Yeah. You got to find ways to get him involved more. He's uber competitive.
He makes so many plays in the air, too. This is a guy who barely had any catches coming out of Central, and you guys got him going at Westside. And your final play of the game, throwing it up, giving Banks a chance, but you got the hold. They didn't call it. That's the way it goes sometimes in these games. But 28-20, USC wins the game. You look at the stats. Nebraska started off this game not getting a lot done, but did a really good job of kind of battling their way back into the game. Now, giving up 6.4 yards a play to USC. Defense, that just can't happen.
Yeah, you allowed a good rushing football team to really run the football. And listen, I get it. It's some complex schemes, but you got to get some run support.
Nebraska scores just 13 points, gets 10 points from the defense. Let's talk about the players of the game. Our players of the game this week, Emmett Johnson, not a surprise, on offense. Over 100 yards of total offense for Emmett Johnson. And on defense and on special teams, Sierra Wright with the pick six and the blocked field goal to keep the Huskers close. To break down some of those plays, here's Jay in the huddle.
All right, guys, welcome back in the huddle. Let's look at a couple plays tonight. The first one's going to be an offensive play, Emmett Johnson touchdown reception. So as we look at this, USC is going to come out in what I refer to as a cover six look. That is a quarters to the field side, cover two to the boundary on the backside. Some people call it a quarter half play, but Dylan Raiola does a fantastic job here of using his eyes. You can see him early looking to the side. Nayor's was in the slot over here, working all the way over here, was looking for him. It's not there. USC does a fantastic job of covering him. Now, Emmett sneaks out through the middle, does a great job. This is what I like, and I don't know if this is necessarily a Holgorsen thing, but I think just getting a back in this situation and getting some mismatch and getting him in some space is really what Nebraska needed to kind of kickstart some points. But you can see Dylan does a great job, step in the pocket, puts the ball perfectly right here in front. This corner sitting over here in cover two. Can't get to it. Emmett does a great job receiving, as he usually does. Gets upfield some speed. In that safety, I was on the backside and playing cover two. Didn't have a chance to get to him, so 6 points for the Big Red. Now, the defensive play we're going to look at tonight is the 4th and 1. Kind of a cool look from right over top. Nebraska kind of gets caught. A really clever play call designed by USC. This motion's coming, right? Which end coming unblocked. He does a good job. His shoulders staying parallel. You've heard me say that a ton on the show so far this year. As we hit this, what happens though with this motion, these linebackers up top have to honor it. So they have to take a step that way, which is just going to give enough time for this lineman to get upfield because we do not have a pitch guy for the option, even though it's short side into the boundary. The defensive end on the end is responsible for the quarterback. Right now, there's no one getting over here. Judy is not the pitch guy. You cannot have him be here. Baird cannot get over top because he got paused with that motion coming across. Now, Woody Marks is able to get upfield. The receiver does a good job running off, getting the block. I'd like to see Jamari Butler just lay out here, try to get a leg or something. Doesn't get there. Good job. I don't know. You called me. The referee has been. It's obviously dicey this year. Looks kind of like a hold here, but grabbing the back of his helmet. Obviously, he can't get over top. A really good play design execution, short side into the boundary option. Nebraska fans, history-wise, very familiar with it.
Yeah, that's even more of a salt in the wound. They run a Nebraska short side option against them to do that, but just got outnumbered. And that one step, right, with the motion, gets you out of position.
Yeah, I mean, they got the second level quickly. I don't know, even with the motion. I mean, they'd have to know it was coming. That's hard.
It takes your alley runner out.
Yeah,
of the
it's
play
hard.
Too.
Yeah, but it's hard to get over top.
Because they're playing man.
Yeah.
So you have to rotate. I mean, you zone that off, you maybe get a backside alley runner. That's from the safety spot, but he has to honor the motion.
Yeah, Levante David makes that play. Coming up, we'll dive deeper into the offensive changes with Stan McKeon, and we'll get his thoughts on Dana Holgorsen and the Huskers overall. Thanks to Hurrdat Sports for all the pictures they provide us all season long. We'll be back in 2 minutes on Big Red Wrap-Up.
I think, I mean, it would be like, I mean, just to put it in context what Dana did, it would be like you guys, you know, having to write this on a deadline and having to write it in Italian with a translator next to you. It'd be hard, right? Like, I mean, this is all new language. We're in 2 minutes, and he's, you know, I thought Glenn and Garrett did a great job of helping. I thought Dana prepared at a really high level.
Yeah, I think we're excited. Sense of urgency coming in, you know, Sunday. And an excitement to kind of, you know, build off what we did in the second half and moving into this week. So we're looking forward to it, and we just got to go do it now.
I was bored. Great deal of respect for Coach Rule. You know, we visited in December, you know, and I didn't think it was fair to him, me, or the program to do it at that point. You know, I was tired. I'd been through a lot, and you know, just didn't have to do it at that point, and I didn't feel like I was ready to give it my all. You know, I was very grateful to Sonny Dykes and TCU for being a consultant there, which kept me around the game.
All right, let's welcome in Sam McKeon, sports editor, columnist, podcaster, all with the Omaha World Herald, basically running the joint. Your feel listening to Coach Holgorsen today, standing in front. You heard a lot of guys. What'd you think?
I liked him. I thought he was really, really good and really interesting to talk to. I definitely felt like he just has a certain vibe, and it's real. It's not like a fake vibe. He has sort of a calm and control, sort of a, hey, brother, how you doing? Yeah. And I think it can probably have a good effect on the team. Not that Marcus Satterfield was, like, overly amped, but I almost felt like at times he was a little too laid back, whereas I think this guy can maybe turn the dial up a little bit. And I just like the way he talked about things. He was very honest about two position groups that I think a lot of Nebraska fans don't think are playing as well as they could be. And for him to say that in a press conference about the running backs, the receivers, I think probably got some people to sit up straight and perk up their ears.
Sam, have you placed your bets on the player he was referring to that they found today in practice, that probably a young player that you might see more on Saturday?
Yeah, part of me thinks it's some sort of walk-on. Because I got to think that the other players that he might be thinking about are that we might be thinking about, or guys that we can think about? Maybe it's it could be Carter Nelson. Carter Nelson's barely played, but then again, Carter Nelson's been there all year. So that would be a guy that you would think about. It could be one of those redshirt freshman receivers, Quinn Clark.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
It could be him. Those guys can play. In theory, it could be Malachi Coleman. It could be Neil Smith's son. You just never know who he could be thinking about. They've got bodies available who are not going to lose their red shirts if they play right now, and there's no reason to hold anybody back based on what that offense has done so far this year.
Can you give us 2 ideas, you said?
Yeah, now full disclosure, I want to be right because I said this after the 1890 open scrimmage. Do you remember the guy that I told you I liked?
I do not remember.
I'm a big Mekhi Nelson guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. You did say you liked him.
Watching him run in that 1890 open scrimmage, I was like, oh, he moves different. I like him.
Yeah.
And they need, even though I'm a huge EJ guy, they need a running back. So I think it's either Mekhi Nelson or I think it's Quinn Clark.
Yeah.
And I'm biased because Quinn, I'm with him a lot.
Sure.
And I did try to copy his dad's running style. So
Yeah. I would go with 6'5", can jump out the gym and can run.
I
want that guy.
competitive.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, let me ask you something, Sam, because I think this is interesting. And because now that Coach Rule has kind of morphed into this CEO thing, do you get the sense, and I think I've said this to you before on the show, he needs a heavy, somebody that is the hammer that's not like him. Coach Dana sounds like Coach Rule's alter ego.
Right.
Like, I think Coach Howard, he says all the things that Coach Rule wants to say, but you can't really say as the CEO in Week 11. He was very finite, and he comes across like he could be good for his spirit.
He was able to say it in a way too that was not like overly edgy or angry.
Just matter of fact.
Yeah, he's just
very matter of fact.
But not everybody has. Some people, oh, he tells the truth. He's a realist. But I like
You'd
that's
have
good.
criticized his tone.
But his tone was
I'm a little
really good.
His tone was good.
Right?
It was a good
so
tone.
you can read that.
Yeah, no question.
Matter of fact is a good way to put it, but it wasn't offensive.
Right. Actually, I think Rule, when Rule gets frustrated, his tone gets a little edgy. And so a couple of weeks ago when he was saying it's got to be on the players, it's got to be, you could kind of sense that he was irritated. And, like he wasn't saying everything he wanted to say.
It's almost like he knew Saturday was coming.
Yeah.
And then Holgorsen,
Make a
I
play.
think, just has that way of I don't know, modulating him out. And what he was able to say about the running bus was very, very good. The hole's this big, you got to get in the hole.
Somebody's
which
gotta
I'm
be
sure
in it.
you've been
That
watching all
was
year.
incredible to just have somebody articulate that. But that's why I bristled up a couple weeks ago about the offensive
line,
line.
I
I'm
know.
like, I'm not sure what you guys are watching, but it's not on the O-line.
Yeah, and fresh eyes, that's the fresh eyes we were talking about. You just all of a sudden look and go, oh, that's obvious. There's a hole. And he's willing to say it. And the blocking on the outside, I'm sure he turned the tape on and saw it right away and said, you guys got to fix it.
It's been multiple years. I mean, I remember pushing my chair back at Michigan State in 21 when Nebraska running backs were missing holes in that game. It's just been a long time since you've had multiple guys that played the way that Nebraska running backs did for the majority of my life. From the time that I remember Nebraska football with 82, 83 until 2014, Nebraska had the best consistent run of running backs of any school in college football, and then it stopped. And it hasn't been back for a decade. And I would argue that is as big of a reason why Nebraska's offense has struggled as any other issue on that offense in the last decade.
How did it land with you when he kind of went into position coaches and kind of sometimes how they fall in love with players?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, it happens, but the fresh set of eyes, almost to say, yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
That's what a coordinator should be able to do, especially in this day and age, because now you don't have just 10 coaches. Now you can have 15. You should have a guy like Holgorsen who's able to step back from all of the personal relationships that position coaches have and say, no, you've got to be more objective about your determinations. You can't just play the guy that you personally like the most. You got to play guys that can get you points and yards, especially late in the season when you've got everybody on your roster available to you.
And that's kind of Janarian Bonner, right? He's be one of those guys. He'd be one of those guys you put in that scenario. Sam, we get to this part of the season, and unfortunately, Nebraska's been here way too often.
Yeah.
We just kind of have this conversation of when you've struggled late in the season, you have a bunch of older guys that have played, contributed a ton, done things the right way, but you're not getting the results. And you have a lot of young guys that people want to say, why can't these young guys get more shots at opportunities to play to maybe get this over this hump? Where are you at with that standpoint of does Coach Rule and staff need to take more looks, throw some more young guys in this situation, knowing that they potentially don't have to burn red shirts, but also knowing the fact that you have players who have done it the right way for so long, and you want to reward them as well?
I think on the offensive side of the ball, you have an opportunity to look at more young players because you don't have to play a Quinn Clark 47 snaps. I think generally speaking, defensive backs, if you start putting young guys on the field for a couple of snaps, we already know what happened. We saw it when Jeremiah Charles was out there and UCLA took him apart and they took him off the field. So I don't think you can necessarily throw guys into certain positions, especially on defense, because you don't want them getting confused. But I think on the offensive side of the ball, you almost have to do it imperatively at this point. And, you know, they rolled the dice with Dylan Raiola right away. They made that choice late last year. They could have brought a Kyle McCord in, but they're like, no, we're going to let this kid learn. He's going to make mistakes, which he has, but he's going to be a heck of a lot better next year because he didn't make them. And now on a compressed timeline, what you hope you can do is you can get Quinn Clark and a few other guys to get that jump too. Here's what's interesting. Jalen Lloyd got that opportunity, that experience last year, and then they recruited over him. And now he's just getting back to where he's getting as many plays and opportunities as he did last year. And I wonder if he got a little overlooked during the course of this season.
There's no doubt that he did. Let's talk about Wisconsin a little bit. Last year, one of the things that beat Nebraska in that game was Mordecai getting loose. I'm not saying Braden Locke is a great runner, but he will get you a first down.
Right.
How important do you think is watching him, making sure he's got a pocket, and of course slowing down their run game, which has been pretty good?
Crucial. And last year, Nebraska missed Mordecai on a couple of blitzes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Plays that they probably would make 85% of the time, and they just didn't make them. I do think that Locke can get out. I'm guessing that even though they fired Phil Longo, they're going to try to use the game plan that he used against Nebraska last year.
Yeah.
I think he was fired more because of clearly issues between him and Luke Fickell based on Fickell's weird presser. So, yeah, they've got to find a way to make sure that they keep that quarterback in the pocket and that they watch that running back. He's a nice running back. That's yet another team that I think has a better running back as a starter than Nebraska does.
Even the freshman, Dupree, is coming along.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's the guy that I think they'd like to be really, really good.
Yeah.
Do you remember a press conference in a week like that, heading into a game like this, where the opposing coach didn't get asked one question about the team they're playing?
I don't, but he gave the strangest answer I can imagine to the obvious question.
Yeah.
Which is who's calling the plays, and then I literally wrote, he made a face. I'll try to make the face now.
He did. Right. He did make the face.
Why does it matter? That's not the answer you wanted to give there, Luke.
Yeah. Because then that just kept getting questions.
Now you're going to get 17 minutes of them. And at the end, he's like huffing and sighing.
He is.
I'm like, this didn't go well. This didn't go the way you thought it was going to go.
Not one Nebraska question.
But one guy started to ask the question, and then they got flipped into something
That's
else.
right.
Yeah.
He's like, we would ask more questions about Nebraska if you hadn't answered the first question the way you did. So it was a rough stretch for him, but you know what? At the end of the day, they're going to play a game on Saturday, and if Wisconsin wins, they win. So I think Nebraska has to play its very best. I think Nebraska can win this game by double digits if they play well.
Are you okay? Because I think he kind of morphed into it, that Coach Rule used the platform on Monday to talk about the roster limits.
I'm okay with it. I think that's clearly on his mind.
Yeah.
It's only 3 weeks away. Well, they can
It's
take some of
kind
this
of
stuff
late.
into
Yeah,
spring.
it's kind of late.
They can take some of it into spring, where they don't necessarily have to take it down to 105, I think, by spring camp. I think it's probably by next fall that they need to do that, but they're going to have to start it here in 2 or 3 weeks.
He's not the only one. Dabo talked about it for a while, too, on his press conference. These guys, they're frustrated for a lot of reasons.
Well, I think they thought
Especially
it
if they're
was going
walk-ons.
to be maybe got a reprieve.
Yeah. Or at least it was
that
going to
they
be
were going to do it
staggered.
incrementally.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That it
what
was,
he thought.
okay, we'll
Stair-step.
get to 105 in 3 years, but we're going to go to 125,
Right.
and then it would have naturally happened, but they're going to have to do it now, and it's going to be pretty hard, I think.
Sam, we appreciate it, man.
Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
for taking the time. Coming up, we'll talk more about the Badgers and take a look at the top plays. Thanks to Hurrdat Sports, as always, for previewing what we need to talk about when it comes to USC with these great pictures that we had from Saturday. More Big Red Wrap-Up coming up. All right, time for top plays. We start at number 3, Emmett Johnson. Nifty 29-yard catch and run for the touchdown to get Nebraska up to 14-14 in that game. At number 2, so you're right, diving with everything he had to block the field goal, keeping Nebraska close. And then, of course, number 1, the first touchdown of the game. So you're right, coming home to Southern California, catching the errant pass and taking it back for the touchdown to put Nebraska up 7-0. And if it's football that you love, Nebraska Public Media has it all for you starting on Monday with the NSAA State Championship games. At 10, the D2 matchup featuring Riverside and Central Valley, followed by D1 game between Sandy Creek and Stanton. The nightcap has a huge matchup. Omaha West Side battling Millard South for the Class A title, going for 3 in a row. On Tuesday, we do it all over again, 10 a.m., Norfolk Catholic takes on Bishop Neumann for the C2 crown. At 2:30, it's Central City at Wahoo, closing up the title game at 7. Class B final featuring Bennington and Scott Catholic, all here on Nebraska Public Media, your home for championship sports. Scott going, Bennington going for another championship. Welcome back, recruiting time. We're joined by Sean Callahan. Where's Nebraska kind of sitting after getting a big flip last week?
You know, getting Dawson Merritt to commit has really given this class a boost. I mean, they were just kind of in this scrum of teams, and they pushed themselves up at one point to number 19. Nebraska, though, sitting at number 20, which about a week or two ago, I'm not sure people thought was a possibility, and there's still more out there. Cortez Mills, a possible name to watch. Michael Terry III, a 5-star, another name to watch. So this class has put themselves in a very good spot, despite the struggles on the field, and they've got a chance to push up a few more.
Feature recruit is Pierce Muberry.
Yeah, Pierce Muberry, he is our on-3 number 1 player in the state. And I know that there's multiple rankings, but our analysts have him as the number 1 player in Nebraska based on his length, his upside, his position versatility, the film that he's put out. You know, he's a 4-star by On3, consensus 3-star when you add up all the industry rankings together. Played tight end, played linebacker, great length, great size, and runs well. So I think when you look at upside and projection, you know, he's got a lot of linebackers out there that are ranked 6'1", 6'2". He's a legit 6'4", 6'5", almost built like a Sean Fisher when he was coming out of Miller North many years ago.
Yep, remember that was pretty well. He's kind of overshadowed by his teammate, Caden Bermas.
Yeah, they have 3 Division I guys on that team, with Henry Rayberg as well. So a very talented Miller North team, and Pierce Muberry right up there.
Talk about our in-state recruit.
Yeah, Torrey Pittman from Omaha Central, just a sophomore, but has major offers. USC, one of those, Nebraska, a long list of big-time offers for Torrey Pittman. As a freshman, he was one of the top long jumpers in the state of Nebraska, so he's got explosion numbers that also translate to the track. And for a freshman to do that, it tells you the kind of athlete he is. And I know, Michael, you've been to a lot of
I've seen him a lot.
games.
Yeah.
I'm curious what your thoughts on him are.
Well, so he's definitely a safety, not a wide receiver, because he plays both of them. He's tough. He's a tough kid. He makes a lot of plays. But he's one of those kids that when you see him do something in the field, you're like, oh, he stands out. So
and early on, he's a national level guy with these offers. So January, when all these coaches come around, there'll be some pretty good foot traffic into Omaha to see Torrey Pittman.
Awesome. Sean, we appreciate it. Let's take a look at an early look at our current CFP rankings from the committee. This is the projected matchups. You've got BYU getting there to 12th spot after dropping way down after losing this week against Ohio State. Notre Dame versus Alabama, which would be pretty fun. Georgia and Penn State, and then Ole Miss and Indiana. Having that Southern school going to Indiana would be pretty interesting, no doubt about that. Playing their first top 5 game in history against Ohio State. That is what Indiana is doing this weekend at Ohio Stadium. Meanwhile, this will be the 3rd top 5 matchup for the Buckeyes this season. Oregon has moved to 11-0 for only the 2nd time in their history. The last time was back in 2010 when they went to the championship and lost to Auburn. Big Ten, of course, still has top 25 Oregon as number 1, and then college ball rankings, Ohio State number 2, and Penn State at number 4, Hoosiers at number 5. All right, let's bring in our guest to talk more about the game. Jay Wilson joins us, long time guy was on TV there in Madison. How you doing, Jay?
I'm well tonight. How are you all?
Doing really well. Let's talk about the big news, the change in OC and the way Luke Fickell handled it in his press conference.
Well, I think the imitation of Luke Fickell's expression was fantastic, first of all. And it's remarkable that we're talking about offensive coordinators so much on this program. But the Badgers' offense has been frustrating to all because when Phil Longo was hired, he was bringing in this air raid offense that everybody thought would be like Drew Brees and you'd throw for 400 yards a game. Well, the air raid offense is a great theory and concept, but you have to have guys who can play it. When Phil Longo was at Mississippi, he had A.J. Brown and D.K. Metcalf as two of his receivers.
Yep.
When he was at North Carolina, he had Drake May, who was drafted by the New England Patriots. Here, he didn't have guys. Now, to get rid of him after 2 years, not quite 2 years, I mean, that's really something. But you suggested that there might be more to it than just the offense not being as productive, that there might be something else going on between head coach and offensive coordinator. I think that is an accurate statement. But it's been a turbulent few weeks. Jack Del Rio, who was hired as a consultant earlier in the season, crashed his car into Madison Street, got picked up for DUI, and he's no longer with the program. Now this Phil Longo stuff has developed. And, you know, this is the time of year when Wisconsin fans usually talk about going to the Big Ten championship game or a really good bowl game. And if they don't beat Nebraska, if they don't beat Minnesota the week after, they're not going to a bowl game.
Jay, when you take a look at what's going on in Madison, if it was more recognizable to the fan base and they kind of had an idea of where they were headed, would it be more palatable for what kind of Coach Fickell says and how it's gone about if they could just see some semblance of what it's supposed to look like?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. But again, you have to have guys. I mean, you know, the reason great coaches get to be great coaches are because they have great players in large part. You know, what Luke Fickell did at Cincinnati to get to the playoff in 2021 was unbelievable. And when he was hired to replace Paul Chryst, you know, the program at that time needed a jolt. They needed something. And rather than do the comfortable thing and keep Jim Leonhard, they went Luke Fickell, who, you know, you can see his numbers there, including that playoff at Cincinnati. And I think the optimism is still there. The other thing Wisconsin has done is made such a huge investment in Luke Fickell. They're doing a $285 million renovation of their indoor practice facility. They redid the field this year after a couple of years, put $5.5 million in a new field with heating coils because they want to be ready to host a playoff game in December. They put $77 million into a renovation of the south end zone. They're paying Luke Fickell $7.7 million a year. That's a pretty big investment, and you want some return on your investment. And, you know, fans are going to be fans, and they're going to say things on social media. But, you know, he's not in the hot seat yet, but it's warmer than it was.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, there are two pretty significant injury situations for Wisconsin I wanted to hit you on. Will Pauling, arguably your best receiver, the best receiver, and then Wooler, the safety, both went out in the fourth quarter. Do you have an idea on their status for this game on Saturday?
Well, I mean, if they don't have Hunter Wooler, that's a whole different deal. I mean, he is the guy on their defense. He makes plays. He gets everybody in the right spot. He's one of the smartest football players you'd ever want to meet. He's great in the community, by the way, things like that. We haven't had an update today, but when he left that game against Oregon Saturday, it certainly did not look good. Yeah. And so we have to see how that develops during the week. Pauling, you know, I would say they don't have a lot of guys. Well, he's one of their guys. Yeah. And a go-to guy. And, you know, he's leading the team in receptions, 42. I don't have an update on his injury status either, but I would say Waller is much more important to the defense and Pauling would be to the offense. But, boy, you go into Lincoln without either one of those guys, that'd be really tough.
Hey, Jay, we appreciate it. Enjoy the game on Saturday.
All right, thank you.
All right. We go to our game day photo winner this week. It goes to Randy Kleinberg for this shot of a jersey being pulled as the interception is happening, last play of the game on Saturday. For this shot, Randy gets a Nebraska Public Media Sports shirt for sharing what he shared with us. And now we find out what the viewers think of the survey so far this week. And it was Out of the 2 remaining games, who'd you rather see Nebraska beat? And we're going with the don't care, just be bowl eligible at 66%, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't care. One way or another.
It makes a whole lot of sense. I will say that Pauling, at the end of that game, he had tears in his eyes. It was something lower body-wise. It looked like it was bad news when he came out.
That's significant. Both. I mean, those are two of their dudes.
Single-handedly killed Nebraska
Last
a year
year,
ago, especially on third down.
Not the leading receiver, but definitely the leading in terms of catching, not the yards, but catchers. Your feel overall, I'm going to start with DJ.
Okay.
Just your feel overall, you're going against a team that seems like they're in more of a mess than Nebraska is, and we thought last week that Nebraska was kind of in a mess.
Yeah, they're both teams are very in similar situations. I think, Nebraska's healthier than Wisconsin coming this game, but I think from a mentality standpoint, I think Nebraska is in a much healthier mental state than Wisconsin is. Wisconsin put everything into almost upsetting Oregon in Madison, didn't get it done. So obviously a lot of energy was spent doing that. Obviously Nebraska spent a bunch of energy as well, but I think Nebraska mentally and just where they're at with the staff and having going into now week 3 with Dana Holgorsen is a much better situation than Wisconsin is.
Do you think, and we were talking earlier about who might that young person be, but you think about watching, and you've seen a lot of practice, and you know the team. Are there several guys you'd say, young guys, you'd like to see play on the defensive side, opposed to the offense we've been talking about?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're starting to see, obviously McGahee has come on late. Shavers was early. And the secondary, these guys call themselves the quartet. It's Prude, it's Donovan Jones, it's Amari Sanders, and Caleb.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of guys back there that I think ultimately will play. And the encouraging thing is they practice together on those 4 practice together on the same unit. So that's encouraging. And of course, don't forget, Keona Davis, who may find himself coincidentally in a Riley Van Poppel situation this year, where he could redshirt because you'll get Van Poppel next year. So those 2 guys will be pretty good as well.
It's a lot of guys. Jerry, on the email, Sean says, you think we'll see more of Heinrich Haarberg in some of those patches we saw on Saturday?
I mean, I think you'll continue to see him in a spot role. The thing is, it's so predictable. I mean, you notice when he came in, it was to start the half, I believe, where they weren't really ready for it.
Starting 2 drives.
So the booth's probably not thinking, Haarberg's coming in, because it happens so quickly. But I just can't imagine they're going to do more than a play here, a play there. It just doesn't seem like something. Maybe the red zone. I mean, maybe the red zone makes sense where they could bring him in for some different elements. But again, it's very predictable at that point if he's not going to throw.
I would say if you're good enough, they may know what's coming. Don't mean they can stop it.
And you could also, I think the difference with Holgorsen now is a guy that understands true triple.
Yeah.
The RPO is now in play with quick look-ins and choice routes, not just those little arrow routes to the outside. So there's still a little wrinkle in there where I think he could still play catch.
You worried about going against Wisconsin's run team?
A little bit. I like Nebraska's front, their front 7 guys. I do. I think what I'm now worried about in football in general, it's always a very copycat league. So I think Wisconsin's going to try to emulate a little bit what USC did the previous week to see if that might not fit situationally to what Wisconsin likes to do. But I think you're going to try to implement some sort of the same looks and what, just to see if Nebraska's on their P's and Q's, if they got the situation resurrected from last week. So, but I still like Nebraska. I mean, the strength of their defense is up front. So I love that against any run game. But they have to clean it up how USC attacked them. Now, granted, Woody Marks is a fantastic running back. So I think that was half the battle. But I still like Nebraska's matchup in the run game.
Real quick, a few people asking this question. You guys think Holgorsen's back next year?
I do. I think with Dylan Raiola, that's a selling point for him to want to be here longer.
What about you, Damon?
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. He must have been really bored apparently. So he'll be back for some work next year too.
I don't know if the media will be ready for him, but the fan base, I think everybody else will.
I'm excited about it. Let's go with burning questions.
Can Dana Holgorsen find enough offense? I don't think it's going to take a lot, but can they get enough to get this win against Wisconsin?
Can playmakers be actually what it is by definition? That's a guy making a play. If Nebraska gets that, they'll be just fine on Saturday.
Yeah, I kind of asked Sam who that guy might be on that Holgorsen might identify in practice this week. Well, some young guys might get thrown in the mix too they haven't seen this year to step up and, like Damon said, finally make those plays.
can Dylan Raiola make the throws that he has to make when it's open? If you got a big wide receiver and he's between the defender and the ball coming to you, you got to make those throws sometimes, and can he get that done? Don't forget to head to our website, or the Facebook page, or X account, and click on the prediction. Jay and Damon and I will tell you exactly what to expect in the Wisconsin game. The game against the Badgers at 2:30 on Saturday. It's the 23rd on the BTN. And then next week, Big Red Wrap-Up, special day. We'll recap the game and be joined by a special guest, Aaron Sorensen, at a special time and date on World, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And you can catch the re-air at 10 p.m. Nebraska Public Media. And don't forget to check out the Nebraska High School Classics anytime on youtube.com/Nebraska Public Media. Our thanks to Sam McEwen and Jay Wilson for being with us. For Jay Moore, Damon Benning, Sean Callahan, I'm Michael Severe. We'll see you next week on Big Red Wrap-Up.